a game towards Chunky Kong's favor, but I really like how Chunky Kong understood, like, hey, I don't want to go back to ledge trapping. I want to continue this position. It was just unfortunate he missed the tech.
The setback right there. Yeah, this is so... Look at these combos, right? There's no platforms or anything to stop, like, the Nair combos. It just works, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that is so strong. That is such a good counter for edgeguards. You see it all the time. They use it to spike people. They use it to just push you away like that, but a weird angle. And now big damage immediately getting answered right back.
Yeah, and I just want to point out real quick that like you specifically use the downwards angle like that, so you don't SD, but send them in the perfect direction to kill them while being able to recover easily. So it's a little Greninja optimization that every Greninja main knows about. With that said, oh, that mesh was so good at 100%, and the name was more than ready for that. That's something I don't see enough people do. You can mesh out of that side B at high percent. And thank you, City, for the tier 2 in 7 months. Appreciate it so much, bro. Always helped me out so much.
Tier 2 dropping that big money and showing that support. And also dropping big moments like that. Going for a edge guard, but it doesn't even matter. Ends up giving you the stock because it's a little bit out of range. But I still like the way that Fireball always adjusts after getting pressure. Still up a whole stock here. And good high recovery once again from Chunky Kong. And great job delaying the recovery from Fireball because that could have been another spike.
And just have no reason, Name goes for edge guard, does not get it. And suddenly, Name took the 9, but then gets the kill on DK. I think Chunky jump with DK so big that like that forward just covers so many options so effortlessly almost that Name just kind of has to swing and pray in these kind of situations.
Yeah, also, my goodness, it must be nice to be able to stall in the air with that shuriken, because that could have been a back air in a ledge trap.
Oh my god! The quad there! Oh, the stage like 60s. He killed Chunky at 67 after doing like 20 to 67.
Bro, my boy said, how many licks does it take to get to the center? 1, 2, 3, and just straight up demolished all of Chunky Kong's last stock right there. And I think this game, even more so than game 1, kind of made it more apparent as to why that stage is so good for Greninja.
Yeah, definitely. Chunky Kong has to switch, because like, FD is generally, like, when I play Greninja, I auto-ban Kalos and FD, generally. Just because you cannot let Greninja go there. Platforms don't always mess with his combos, but I think his combos work really well without them. Especially on a big character like GK. As you see, he gets Nair looped. I've never seen Nair loops work, but that worked true. Like,
yeah,
no.
It looked very real. And, you know, a good thing, like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to avoid getting, like, down tilted or landing coverage into up smash or you know, falling up air into up smash on platforms. But you're Donkey Kong, you have the ding dong. So, like, you always have good options here, too. I think that might have been a little bit of a part of, like, Chunky Kong's game plan before, just catch a lot of landings and such. But Fireball made it very apparent that the landing coverage was not the issue. It's mostly being stuck here at the ledge. Goodbye.
Yep, I just, like, that's how last game started, right? You know, it's basically a 0 death, kill him with a counter off the left side, and Chunky Kong just really, like... It looks so wrong with it. I don't even know what Chunky Kong's supposed to do here. He's just getting overwhelmed completely. He can't find grabs. He can't box. Like, he's trying to box. He's getting dash attacked. And he's getting such few openings, and he's not even killing off of them.
That sucks in every way. The fact that didn't KO right there, because that could have evened things right back up. Now you have to find another straight up air. Oh, look for landing forward smash read, but doesn't get it. And that's a jump call out, too. What are you going to do about the recovery? Goodbye.
Touch edge guard, back air. Oh, he has no time for it. He has to get that up. With that said, he gets the ledge jump going. He's not getting the follow. But Chunky Kong still wasn't knocking the hits. And every time he tries swinging, I swear, Name is just in a perfect spot to avoid the attack and punish immediately. We're about to see one of the quickest 3-0s into winners finals like I've ever seen.
I mean, it is Chunky Kong, so like you still have all that KO power, but it just, oh wow, that's the first time we've seen reverse up tilt in a while actually. It's such a good option to cover multiple things at ledge if people get too aggressive. But Chunky Kong, he needs a cheat. That's actually the only thing I can say. He needs to cheat right now. Get yourself an early stock, possibly an aggro call out with that charge punch. But you have to play perfectly. You cannot get caught by that amazing burst option in that dash attack, like so, because look how much damage it led to already. Luckily, didn't get jab locked.
Yeah, and I love these neutral B like stalls and reverses, right? Because so many times Chunky Kong is trying to like chase down the landing, and then suddenly just neutral B stops momentum, jumps away, and Chunky Kong is just in the worst spot where he can't punish anything now. And I see the neutral so hard that if he's constantly getting mixed in neutral and his own advantage state and his disadvantage state is mixed, like if you get mixed everywhere, there's no hope for you. That's all it is.
I get why Chunky kept going for the jump at the high part, right? Like you'd much rather take back air that isn't going to kill you yet at those earlier percents and potentially go for a high recovery with the up B. Like we saw, it did work a second ago, but once you take too much damage, that back air is going to eventually KO. And you don't want to go for the low recovery because you don't want to get countered, you don't want to get hydro pumped, but it becomes very apparent at the end how much the jumps were there. Fireball, absolutely, once again, puns all intended, on fire tonight, making a name for themselves in the scene for where we haven't seen. But I'm glad to see another one come out of nowhere and just absolutely tear it apart. I need more details. Somebody give me more details on Fireball, because I know Fireball's good somewhere. I just don't know where. Probably going to get that in a second, but we had Alendis this last few weeks. Now Fireball coming in here. Who's going to be the one to stop Fireball tonight?
Yeah, right? Like, at this rate, dude, I don't know if anyone can stop Fireball. The question is, can anyone even have a chance versus him, right? Because, like, if someone takes,
let's look at the matchups left.
Let's look at his bracket run in the first place. Because he 3-1 Syrup, and that looked like a very dominant 3-1. Right now, Syrup and AOS are playing off stream, and the winner of those two is going to fight Quid next. Wow, and then afterwards we have, but look at name Fireball. He beat Luffy MK 2-0, Cake, the Duck Hunt player, and Tux. So, solid run. I don't think any crazy upsets, although Luffy was definitely a player that was potentially
Luffy's definitely a tough one. Luffy's a very tough one. Very, very good. I believe Richter as well as the Meta Knight. So, that's a hard one to deal with. But, like, I mean, Greninja. I've been preaching how strong this character is for such a long time, but you don't see it too often here around here. Definitely see it in some other regions, and it's just a good example why we're seeing right here today. You know, you got the likes of JK who's done it offline, obviously Stroder, a lot of the other strong Greninjas, or some like the ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but like it's just good to see this character come back where we haven't really seen them too much lately. All I've been seeing is the DDDs, the Donkey Kongs, the Ikes, who else? Like, the Robins recently. Like, it's been incredible to see, and I love seeing new characters show up.
Yeah, every single week, dude. I swear by the end of this, like, quarantine, we have seen every single character show up in this top 8. Like, it's gonna be insane. Like, probably gonna see
J-Jaw's out here bodying people with Kirby. Like, it's been nuts. Like, you literally can't find something that you want to look up nowadays. I mean, who's one I always make fun of Little Mac, right? But even Peanut had a really good run at MSM not that long ago. It's super impressive to see how many people are putting in work behind the scenes.
All these people practicing constantly, right? People who enter these net play events not every single day, but like multiple times a week, you know, playing in different brackets and fighting all the other good players. You know, like crazy experience and, you know, learning each other's habits. And this every single bracket, so many upsets and so many faces you may or may not be familiar with. You know, a lot of these brackets get either capped or they're just massive, so you can't keep track of all these players. There's no way.
We're kind of getting back to that point where we had an oversaturation of goodness, right? Like, you got MSM and Fusion during the week. You got HO3K, VGBC. What else? Obviously this.
There's the box.
You got the box. You got Meister's event. Like, it's just there's always something that you could get to practice in and play. And today you get lucky, though, much to the detriment of the buzz. But you know there was no min-mins here at top 8, so you occasionally get lucky. You don't have to deal with that. But it's
okay. People seeing a min-min at my stream when they come to my stream. This is like, the buzz is playing min-min again, and then I got Rosa. Like, yo, that's Rosa. So
I said VGBC, and I meant to say Xanadu. You are right, chat. But that's what I was referring to. But yeah, it's awesome. And the way to support and continue to that is make sure you go ahead and hit the follow button and subscribe and show some love to the buzz. We are currently waiting for the next match to come up. We got a little bit of downtime, but one of the ways to help support you know, your favorite streamer is to make sure that you hit the sub or at least follow. Do anything you can. Actually retweet the tournament out so people can see, because we're currently sitting at 814 people according to my count. We're getting close to 1,000. We're at pretty much almost 1,000 or close to it every single week.
I don't think we've hit 1,000 yet, actually. I think we've been very
close. We I think it was week 3.
Oh, yeah, it was like 1,000.
It was right after, like, New Year's. It was New Year's week when Alendis made everybody cry. And just came in and stomped on everybody's yard. It was awful, but it was a really good event. And that one we creeped over 1,000. So let's do it again. Continue to show some love, and of course to everybody behind the scenes, Team Liquid, Collision, Last, who's always in the chat lurking, putting in support, and of course the Buzz. Make sure you go ahead and do the goodness and hit the follow and sub. That's
Right
about
now,
as much chilling as I could do to kill that dead air.
yeah,
time.
I was saying, you don't have to show so much. I can definitely fill with some other stuff as well. What I was gonna say is, Syrup did 3-1 AOS. Actually, lost game 1 versus AOS, and then just said, "Hey, I'm gonna 3-0 you now." So you got Quid versus Syrup, PT versus Nest. Now this is another one of those matchups where it's like, "Hey, Ivysaur, you're looking kind of cool today. How about I just take you out for a stroll into this sick winning matchup?" Where Squirrel just looks back there like, "Bro, Ness is just a better version of me most of the time. Let's just not." And then Charizard looks at Ness and goes, "Yeah, I don't want to touch that."
Yeah, like it is a truly painful experience for Squirtle in this matchup because everything Squirtle wants to do is just beaten out. You get beat out by the Fair, you get beat out by Dash Attack. Nair is such a good retreat option, so I don't think outside of like a quick burst of damage, we're gonna see a whole lot of Squirtle in this matchup. And yeah, honestly, the Ivysaur is going to be a bit rough too. I think this might be the first time we see a lot more of the Charizard by comparison to the other two.
Interesting thing about Charizard. That's a surprise to me, but I'm not going to doubt it because the range on Charizard and kill power and the edge guard angles his attack sent at will be really powerful versus Nest. But
I think
we're seeing the Squirtle at the start, which is honestly a surprise.
Yeah, I think it's just get the quick damage while you can and go. I think a reason why we'll see a lot of Charizard is, you have Flamethrower at ledge, which forces Ness into a low recovery angle, and then you could possibly get down airs, or the F tilt at the ledge for a 2-frame. So it's good options to get Ness's recovery. It's just getting Ness to kill power first. And the Squirtle is actually putting in work at the start, so Quid immediately shutting up that idea and getting the damage right where he needed it.
Yeah, and that's definitely a huge surprise. With that said, now the Ivysaur is doing worse than the Squirtle, but you can't say Squirtle forever, and this can potentially be bad. Ivysaur ledge is not that good, but big hitboxes don't get hit by PK Fire, and just let Ness try to find an opening and punish it constantly. That's the name of the game for Ivysaur.
I was expecting so much out of that ledge jump before. I think we're gonna see another attempt coming up in the future, but this is the key: getting the kill power and dipping out of the Charizard to switch back to something as early as you can, because of the type of pressure that Ness can put on the big body frame of Zard.
Something you see a lot of people do with recoveries versus Ness down smash is when they get hit, they up immediately afterwards. Because that way they might be able to hit Ness potentially, or at least grab ledge as soon as possible, not get caught by more down smashes. With that said, having hitbox recovery like Charizard's up B is really nice because you just punch through the down smashes when you're in hitbox, make it so hard to edge guard you without going up stage into Charizard.
Yeah, I like the way that Quid was playing that center stage game a second ago too, utilizing unfortunate. You tried to use the flamethrower to back off Quid and accidentally went a little bit too far back for that fly to make it back.
Yep. With that said, now Syrup he's getting that big damage that we've seen him do before on this stream, and he was just trying to end that stock.
Yeah, you always have to be worried about that in that situation because they could go for a fair and just keep going, or you air dodge and they cover you with that down air. Much better move nowadays because of recent buffs, including that we've seen it a couple times. The PK Flash is actually comboable now, so you gotta watch out for that too.
Bro, that's just like, it's so cool. You never think about it, and then like you get hit and show the PK Flash or just raw like hit regularly, and you're just like, bro, wait, Ness can do everything he wants now. This is horrifying. Speaking of everything he wants, that back throw is everything you want to throw and more. And there's like 76, and Charizard's out in the field. Any single hit can lead to so much damage, and Ness's frame rate is enough to cover potential down B switches, although they're Syrup not do that successfully.
Yeah, you see Syrup trying to keep Quid in the corner, trying